You can hear me. I think you do. I think you should. I have my mic on. And is the light on? Yeah, it's on. So happy blue moon. Happy full moon in Sagittarius. So today I'm just going to do like a brief overview about the full moon in Sagittarius. It's also a blue moon because it's the second full moon of May. And today happens also to be the last day of May. But also the blue moon is a micromoon, meaning it's farther away from the earth than a supermoon would be. A supermoon would be so much closer to the earth, so that's why it will be so much bigger, so much brighter. A micromoon is, the illumination is significantly less than a regular moon, and it's farther away, so it appears smaller in the sky. But also the energies tied to the moon, since it's farther away from earth, may not be as powerful as a regular moon or a supermoon, because it's so much farther away, so the energy won't be as stressful or overwhelming as other moon phases that we've experienced. That's something I learned. Also, I learned that the full moon, the blue moon in Sagittarius, is near the supergiant star called Antares, which is it's called the heart of Scorpio. And it looks similar to Mars. So Antares means it's an opponent to Mars or a rival to Mars, because sometimes people may see that specific star, Antares, and think that it's, or Antares, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They may see it in the sky and assume that it's Mars, but it's not. So Mars doesn't like that so much. It's like, I'm Mars, that's Antares. So don't get us twisted. But the whole point is Sagittarius is a sign of expansion, growth, learning, because, as we learn, we expand, our knowledge base expands. It's the opposite sign of Gemini. And Gemini is the sign of communication, information, technology. But Sagittarius is a fire sign. Gemini is an air sign. Air is about thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. And fire signs are action-oriented signs. So with the full moon being opposite the sun, which is currently in Gemini season, which we're currently under, right? It's like a face-off between both Sagittarius and Gemini. So Sagittarius is a truth seeker, like Scorpios are, right? But they ask Gemini, the information you have, how much value are you giving it? Are you letting it limit you, or is it allowing you to expand your knowledge base, or the way you view things, or your perception of things? So this is what I'm learning, and this is information I got from from moonomens.com, and also a YouTuber here, RZ Crone. Her channel is Crone. She's been on my live streams a couple of times. So I went to her Substack article, and she was talking about the blue moon and the full moon and the micromoon, and how it's, this moon phase, even though it's a blue moon and it doesn't happen that often, it's just, what makes it rare is just that when we have 2 full moons in one calendar month, it's not like it happens every 12 years or something. It happens frequently, but it's not often. It just happens to be this time around, this May of 2026. But hello, how are you? Hi, Blondie. Hi, Prakash. So let me see. I wanted to say. So I was reading her Substack article, and she mentioned that since the moon is farther away from the Earth, it's a micromoon, and the power, the energy isn't as strong or as aggressive as a supermoon's energy may be, especially with the full moon. Full moons are about seeing everything, facing your truths, knowing what is it that has come up, what has surfaced that needs to be released, what is no longer serving you, what is limiting you, since it's in Sagittarius, is what is keeping you small, is your viewpoint, your perception, your understanding limited, and in what ways what do you need to release that is limiting your thoughts, your ideas, your vision, and in what ways can you expand your knowledge base? How can you expand your viewpoint? And it's all about looking at the bigger picture. It's not focusing so much on the minutia, the little things, the little details. It's more so looking at things from a larger scale. So I'm going to read from the book, the Moonology book. And Full Moon in Sagittarius says, look at the bigger picture. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutia can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. Talking is Gemini. Action is Sagittarius. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. So it says, take time out for a mini break or an adventure. So it's like doing something possibly new, different than you've ever experienced before, or just simply take a break. You know, give your mind a break. You know, stop the overthinking and overanalyzing and looking at the tiny little details that really don't matter in the larger scale. It says this situation, for additional meanings for the card, because I don't have the card here. I was like, I'm traveling light today. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. So you're not paying attention to certain things. You're allowing yourself to get distracted by, lately the word that has come up in my vocabulary, though I've known this word, is frivolities. We have no time for such frivolities. Okay, so whatever frivolous shit you're paying attention to, it's time for you to be mindful, be present. Okay, don't get distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. And find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. And another thing it says is the full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, even though I didn't draw it, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. So look at the bigger picture. Then the other book from the Moonology Manifestations deck, even though I don't have the deck with me, like I said, I'm traveling light. Let me see. At this point, your best bet is to be the bigger person in whatever situation is on your mind. If harsh words have been exchanged, this card comes with a gentle suggestion to diffuse the upset with some humor. The world is your oyster when you draw this card, but you need to find a balance between where you are and where you want to be. It may be that you need to do some more research before you move closer towards whatever it is you want. When you're manifesting, the journey of discovery can be as empowering as dreaming the big dream. Remember what I was telling you about what information do you have? Is it limiting you or is it helping to expand you? What information do you need to release that no longer serves a purpose? What do you now need to learn? Research. Hi, Lion Sky, how are you? And then it mentions again, find a balance between saying what needs to be said and saying too much. Sometimes we just need to get to the point. No more beating around the bush. I'm guilty of that because I'm like, let me see how I can say this. Let me dance around the issue, before I pounce, Sometimes you just got to say what you have to say. Keep it simple, keep it succinct, to the point. And then one thing is for sure, having an open mind will serve you well now. Talk to people about your issues and get a view of the bigger picture. So I was telling a friend this because I did a reading for someone and I noticed that they kind of stayed to themselves, and in the reading I did for them, it showed them basically what I was seeing and something that basically was a confirmation of what they were thinking, that they needed to network, that they needed to get out there more, especially if they were not being inspired. They needed to seek inspiration outside of where they usually get inspiration. So I suggested that maybe they need to go networking with people who are doing the same thing they're doing in order to get inspiration, ideas, just get like a soundboard, a soundboard, something like that. I don't know, you know what I mean. You know, people that you could, you know, share your ideas with, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, what about, you ever thought about this or adding that? Like that type of thing. And another thing is there's an affirmation too for this full moon in Sagittarius. I know that I am blessed and I love my life within that knowing. So remember, gratitude. Gratitude is so very important. I talk about that all the time. I think writing a journal, or whenever you're feeling like shit isn't going your way, just take a deep breath. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just an idea. To center yourself, ground yourself, and just think about what you are grateful for, you know, because sometimes we forget, like we have so many things going on around us that distract us. Remember I was talking about distraction, I mentioned that earlier, that we have a lot of things that distract us. And I thought I saw the word strawberry. For some reason, strawberries, I don't know if somebody eating strawberries. I thought I saw the word strawberry. There's no strawberry in this. I don't know. Lately, that's been happening to me lately. I've been seeing things and I'm like, that's not what it says. It says something else. I do not have dyslexia. There's nothing wrong with having dyslexia, but I don't have that. It's just weird that sometimes I read text and I'm like, that's not what it says. I'm seeing something else. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. I got distracted. Exactly, distraction. See, it says about distraction. You know, don't get distracted. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. So focus. It's about presence, being present and being mindful. You know, mindfulness requires presence, no distraction. So there's a blue moon card in the Moonology deck, and it says the teaching of I'm going to read just the teaching. There are 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice, and vice versa. Sometimes we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use the blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. 2 full moons, sorry. May is when we had this 2 moons. May 1st, we had the full moon in Scorpio, which is about releasing things, transforming things that needed to end, what needed to be released, so that you can bring some sort of transformation. And then, like, with that release, whatever you transform, what is it that you're still holding on to that's still keeping you limited? And I keep going back to the snake analogy, because snakes, when they outgrow their skin, their scales, they have to shed it because it no longer suits them, it no longer fits them. So what are certain beliefs that you have about yourself or about a situation that is somehow keeping you stuck and trapped, not allowing you to expand in some way? What is limiting you, you know, and what can you release from that so that you can see expansion in whatever the situation is, whether it's finding some sort of solution that has caused some sort of stalemate, or it's just getting yourself out of a comfort zone, out of a box, just doing something different. Maybe you need more adventure in your life. Sagittarius is the sign of adventure as well, travel, exploration. Okay, so I'm done with that. So since we know full moons are about releasing. Hi, Vivisita, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. So you know that the full moons are about releasing. What do you need to release? And whenever I do the reading, I like to pull out the Howard Surrender deck, because surrender is another word for release. It's another word for let go. So let's see what you need to surrender or what you need to surrender to. This reading is for the collective, just in case you're not sure. I wanted to keep it simple for myself since I'm out here and I never know when I might need the restroom, you know. If I was in my conference room, then yeah. Let's see. What does the collective need to surrender or surrender to? Surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. So yeah, definitely when we tend to push hard, it's because we're trying to make something happen. You're trying to force something to happen when things should happen organically. You know, it shouldn't require you to push so hard to try to force an issue or force something into being, that, especially something that may not even fit for you, something that you may not even realize it is not a good fit for you. You know, it may look good in theory, but if you look at the bigger picture, how does that specific thing that you may be trying to force gonna benefit you? Oh my God, benefit you in the long run. Benefits you in the long run. So surrender to effortlessness. Don't make life so hard. Life has challenges for us. We don't have to make any for ourselves. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis in quiet meditative moments. Focus on the stillness within and enjoy the inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. See, this is about flow. Go with the flow. So what is it that you're holding on to that's kind of, I'm just imagining somebody on a river, and this is down the river. There's a song by Nothing More. I keep talking about Nothing More because I love the band. I love the Carnal album. I feel like everybody should listen to it because there's like this wisdom in the songs. There's a lot of wisdom that was inspired by Alan Watts. He's a philosopher. So those songs have his teachings kind of infused in the music. So it gives you, I love music that makes you think about life. You know, not like about drinking and getting girls or getting guys and jewelry and cars, and that's stupid, you know. But inner peace. What is it that you're holding on to that you need to release that is limiting you and causing you some sort of discord or imbalance that's causing you to feel like being in peace is a battle? It shouldn't be a battle. It's about, if it's a battle, it's because you're holding on to something that you have no control over. Oh, that card. Surrender to passion. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Oh my God. I just had a dirty thought. Okay. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly, your solar plexus. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. I just thought about Sagittarius and then like dirty mind and then let it flow. Not just playing. Let your passion flow. You know, like direct your energy towards the things you want to see growth. Remember, our energy is a powerhouse. It's coming from the powerhouse of our chakra system, which is our solar plexus. That's where we store our energy. So that energy is so powerful. And when you direct it towards what it is, anything, it could be a bad thing or a good thing. It could make that thing grow. But that's why it's important for us to focus more so on the positive, you know. Think about like the sun. If you think about when you're trying to grow something, it needs the sunlight, you know? And some things need more sunlight than other things. I hope you understand what I'm getting the point to. Just imagine the things that need a lot of your energy, which is your sun. Think about the solar plexus. You're directing that energy towards something you want to grow. So make sure that you're directing it towards something positive that is beneficial to you, to your family, to your home, to your community or the world at large, you know, depending on what your vision is. Direct it towards where you want it to grow. If you want to grow negativity, then yeah, put your power towards that and don't complain. Don't come complaining to me about shit going wrong for you, you know, because of where you're directing your energy. Remember, you're responsible for your own life, not me, not anybody else, okay? So be careful of where you're directing your energy towards. Hi Sakshi, how are you? Okay, let's see what else. I see a lot of surrender to. We need something about what do you need to surrender? Surrender your attachment to results. This is about surrendering your attachment to a specific outcome. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Remember, so if there's something that you need to put your energy towards to make it grow, without that, you being attached to the outcome, it's just you doing what you have to do. I want to build a business. So I have to start planning, I have to create a business plan and all that stuff. You start doing that, that's where you're directing your energy, right? Before you can actually implement the plan, you have to create a plan, right? So that's where you're putting your passion to, surrendering your passion to. Surrender to inner peace. Just don't focus, take time, take a break. If you are say, you're focusing your energy on something and then, you may feel like you're stuck, there's no movement. That's when you need to take a break. And this is where you can reconnect to yourself, meditate, even get some sort of inspiration, but also to give yourself a break so that you can rebalance yourself and feel at peace, especially if you're experiencing some sort of stress outside of something you want to create, but also within life itself. But then just go with the flow, let things happen, let things unfold, do what you need to do, don't try to force something, just let it, do what you need to do and just let the chips fall as they may, the way they're meant to. Remember, sometimes what we expect or the desired outcome we wish for may not even be as great as it can actually be, because sometimes we can, say we have a limited viewpoint. Sagittarius is about looking at the bigger picture. And if you're looking at the outcome, a specific outcome, you may be limiting that vision too, because you're looking at it in a specific way. This is why you have to, expand your thinking, learn more, do research, take time, take a break from whatever it is you're working towards, recenter yourself, find peace, but not getting so attached to whatever it is that you're wanting, or you're desiring or what you're working towards. Just know that it's going to work out because you're doing what you need to do. That's all. And the universe is doing what it needs to do to help you. Okay. And another one I want to say too is surrender comparisons with other people. I like to share this one. I just saw it in the bottom of the deck, and keep your eyes trained on yourself. Don't look at what other people are doing. When you're looking at what other people are doing, you're also limiting your mind. You're limiting your mind. You're limiting your vision, your perception, because you don't know what the hell that other person went through to get to where they are. You don't know if they have it easier because they didn't do a damn thing. And you're the one putting in the effort. You're putting in the work. You're putting your heart and soul in something. And somebody is just doing it just to do it. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. And if you see somebody with something that you also wish to have, remember, it's not going to be exactly the same because you are not the exact same person. You are different. You have your own uniqueness, your own beliefs, your own experiences, your own emotions about certain things and different values. So this is where comparison is the joy, a thief of joy. I say, right? Don't they say that comparison is the thief of joy? I think that's what they say. But so don't compare yourself to what other people have. You can be inspired by other people, but know that whatever it is that you want is going to have its unique twist for you because of your uniqueness. I hope that does make sense. It makes sense. Okay. I'm going to put this deck away now. Now I'm wondering if I should have. I hate that when I start to shuffle the cards and then I'm like, damn, I should have left them out because, I'm going to go into another reading, and sometimes the messages align. Okay, maybe I should take some of those cards out. Oh, I want to get an Archangel Michael message. I'm going to get the cards out. I like some of them stood together. Okay, there. See, that was easy. I found them. Okay. Also, surrender to rest and sleep. So some of you need to make sure you're getting enough rest, especially if you want to build up or your energy, your solar plexus. If you're feeling depleted in some way, rest is the most important thing you can do for yourself. Sleep, just relax. I want to say kind of be lazy, but not, it's intentional laziness, you know? It's not like, you know what I mean? You know, the laziness that I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that laziness. Like, but sometimes you need those days, you know? All right, so let's see what the Archangel, this is the Sword of Light Archangel Michael deck. Sword of Light. I forgot the name. I know it's Archangel Michael messages. Okay, what message does some collective need to know at this time? Archangel Michael. Okay, stay the course. Number 29. Stay the course. Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. Oh my gosh, the carnival. If I'm sitting on a bench and it has slats, so it just fell through the gap. Yeah. Learn from your experiences and keep going. That's what our experiences are meant for. Our past is meant to teach us, you know? It's not meant to hold us back. It's supposed to help propel us forward. Keep moving. Keep moving. 29 for Archangel Michael. Stay the course. And it's funny, he's pointing at the sun. Like he's like, the sun is here, honey. Solar plexus. Your powerhouse. Your energy source. Where to store energy. Don't settle for less. Didn't this card come out in the reading I did, I think yesterday or the day? No, I didn't do a reading yesterday. Thursday or Friday, the live stream. Don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Stay the course and don't settle for less. Oh, another one. Regain your focus. Remember what card was it? The full moon of Sagittarius card talked about, you know, something's coming back around because you were distracted, but you need to focus. Focus. 27. Regain your focus. Trivial life matters. The frivolities. We have no time for such frivolities. I keep saying that. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So regain your focus. Focus on what it is. Focus. Don't get hyper-focused. There's a difference between focus and hyper-focus. Hyper-focus is obsession. Okay? It's a fancier word for obsession. What else? Any other messages? Right. Any other messages for the collective? Archangel Michael. Other messages. So cut out the distractions. Anything that's no longer serving you, cut it out. People distracting you with their drama, cut them out as much as you can. You can minimize your interactions with them. You know, if you were investing more time and energy towards them, then wean it back. Direct that energy towards yourself or whatever it is that you want. Okay. One more. Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. So, right there, that's number 6. Be the real you. And number 12, embrace your life purpose. I'm guiding you toward your divine life purpose. Whatever makes your heart joyful is what you're meant to be doing. So think about whatever it is that you love doing, especially if you're feeling stuck and you're not happy with whatever you're doing in your life. Like you don't like your job, you don't like where you live, you know, or how you're living. What is it that you can do? What do you actually like? That's where you should focus. But they said if you're doing what you love, you're not working. So if you're someone who doesn't really like the type of work you're doing, the career path you're on, then you need to consider, or you're being asked to consider, or reminded, let me put it that way. You're being reminded to consider what it is that you love and how can you make it your purpose. Hi, Jessica. Hi, King Goat. King the Goat. King Goat. So embrace your life purpose. What is it that you love and how can you make it your purpose? So that was number 12. What is it with me shuffling the cards back in? You need to stop that. Okay, I want to keep the cards out. That's fine. Okay, who is enjoying these sounds of the birds? I love being out here. Okay. Where the? A brief intermission while I unbend my cards. Unbend my cards. I just thought about this song, Unbreak My Heart. Unbend my cards. See, I will be straightened. Undo this curve that you caused. I'm sorry. That's me being the real me, okay? Just the cards said be the real you. I do that, okay? I make up songs. Okay. All right, let's do this spread that I love to do. It's a very simple spread, but it's my focus block advice spread. I think that it's not mine, but I like using it. So I want to know what does the collective. I might include myself too, because sometimes I listen back to my readings. I'm like, wow, that's good advice. I should take my own advice. My higher self is like, yeah, bitch. That's why I'm making you say those things too. It's for you and them. Okay. What is the focus? Let me just do it like this. Focus. What does the collective need to focus on when it comes to this? Now I'm going to do a spread for June, because tomorrow is the first day of June. I did on Friday, I did a live stream where was some predictions for June, what you need to look out for. So what does the collective need to focus on for the month of June? That card came out, 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords came out. All right, so let's get all the cards out. 7 of Swords for the focus. I'm showing you 7 of Cups, but I'm going to put it back in. What is the block? You saw that, right? You saw me put it back, right? 7 of Cups came out again. Spirit is not fucking around. You saw me shuffle that card back in, and it came out, okay? It was like, I came out for a reason. 7 of Cups is the block. What is the advice? What is the advice? Really? Temperance. Okay. And then we're going to look at the bottom of the deck. The devil. The enslaved man and enslaved woman. Influenced by the magician. And the Seven of Pentacles. 777 may be significant to you. Because we have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles showing up. Okay, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna put this right here. Okay. The Devil, the Magician, and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is like the hidden energy. So it's like, be very careful. I want to say be careful with your money. Make sure you're not, make sure that whatever you're putting your money towards, whatever you've been investing in, you haven't, that it's not going towards some, make sure you're not spending your money on, be careful with your money. Be careful that you're not investing in things that are not the greatest for you. Putting your money towards bad habits or giving it to, beware somebody asking you for money who may have certain habits, and you know what I'm talking about, because we have those family members that they don't take care of themselves, they don't do what they have to do, but they somehow like to ask you to be the hero. They could be manipulative. So beware of any manipulative people that you may have given money to coming back around in June, asking for more. Think about, were you enabling them too? Because when you're giving to them, when you know they have certain habits, you're an enabler, just putting it out there. But that's just the side message from that, because we're going to look at the focus is the Seven of Swords. It's about strategy. It's also about deception. The shadow energy of the Seven of Swords is about deception. So if you're having you're planning something, be very strategic with that plan. Make sure that you're being honest with yourself, with what this plan is, whatever the intention is, with whatever plan you're making that you need to focus on. The focus also is on being very strategic about anything that you're going to be doing in the month of June. Also, because I'm only going to be focusing on you. Other things around you, that could be the bottom energy. This is something that maybe you need to look out for, but this could also be something that may relate to you. Certain habits, attachments that you have, I would say with Temperance card coming out as advice, and I'm getting ahead of myself. It's like saying, learning how to transmute that energy. Any toxic energy, any negative energy, how can you alchemize that energy into something that you may be needing to focus on this June, okay? Be reflective about things that you've done in the past. Also, the devil is in the details too. So there may be something because Capricorn is the devil card. The sign associated with the devil card. So there may be certain details that you need to pay attention to. Or it could be that don't get focus. Sorry, I'm getting like different stuff in my mind. Don't focus so much on the little details. But it is important for you to evaluate something. Something where there may be a need for there to be like a transmutation or a moderation, something that needs to be rebalanced. If you have a personal, like your personal devil, whatever it is for you, it could be a person, place, or thing, or habit you have. You do have resources within you and outside of you that are going to help you. It's just a matter of you evaluating, being aware, reflecting, taking stock of everything that you've done in the past, possibly, and what you need to do moving forward to combat this. It's when I see the Magician here too, it's kind of looking like somebody that is like trying to vanquish something, trying to get rid of something. So some of you may be in the process of working something out, getting something out of your system, something out of your environment that may not be the healthiest for you, you know, with the Magician card coming out, you know, but it's going to require you to be evaluative, to evaluate, reevaluate, reflect. Okay. Now, I think that's where the Seven of Swords comes in with strategy, where you have to be very strategic. Also, there may be certain things that you need to keep to yourself just to avoid anybody like trying to steal any ideas, anybody who may be deceptive too. With the Seven of Swords, someone who may be sneaky. So it's like, in order for you, I'm not going to say be hyper vigilant, but just be aware, be mindful, be present, you know. Don't allow yourself to get overly distracted, because there may be certain things that you're missing that you may miss out on. There may be, like, the block is the Seven of Cups, so there may be certain illusions that you may be creating within your own mind, or there may be people around you that may be causing that, or it could just be that you're confused about something that you need more clarity on. So if there's any confusion that you experience within June, it's important that you do the necessary research, get the information, have the conversations, and really tap into your intuition to help gain some sort of clarity, just to avoid any confusion, you know, because if there's something you're not sure about, the block is confusion. There's confusion, there's illusionment. There may be delusions. It could be self-delusions or illusions that other people are creating that may be a source of confusion to you, and that may also cause you to have an emotional imbalance. And if you're out of balance, with the fact that Temperance is the advice card, when you're out of balance, your intuition is not going to be picking up on shit, because whatever messages you may get, they may be twisted. You know, you're not going to be able to discern whether they're factual or coming from your ego, or if they're coming from you, your higher self. You know, it may not even. This is why you have to be very careful. This is why we have to maintain our peace, maintain our balance, stay away from situations or people that may cause us to come out of balance. You know. And it's important for us to find ways to stay grounded and to know what we need to do to rebalance ourselves, which is basically the advice. I do want to clarify this more. I wish I brought another deck. You know what? I'm going to see. Did I bring another deck? I wanted to bring like a gossipy deck or something, because there may that would have you know what? I think I might do a part 2. I'm going to do this at my house, though, because I have all my cards. Well, of course, all my cards in that house. And we could clarify this more, because I want to like kind of hone in on something that you need to be aware of in June, too, with these cards, just to get more clarification. All right. But the Temperance card, there's something, it's about balance within yourself. You know, because remember, we only have control over ourselves. We have no control over other people or situations that have too many moving parts, too many, I want to say bureaucracy, bureaucratic, policy, laws, certain things, you know, it depends. But with the Temperance card, this is about being grounded, still being connected to your emotions, but also maintaining a grounded stance, being grounded. This is about balancing your mind and your heart. Taking any negativity, any energy that is not the healthiest, that maybe even toxic, and transmuting that energy into something positive. You know, I keep bringing up that the cup with the blue water that you keep in the clear water, and eventually the water turns clear because you're like what you call that? Diluting. So there may be something you're diluting from your life, you know, that's slowly going away. It's dissipating eventually. It's like you're almost there. You just keep moving forward. But I want to clarify this, but I don't have any cards. that would help us like figure out what the seven of swords. I mean, I could clarify with tarot. I could easily do that. But if we look at the shadow energy, there could be some sort of, it could be some devil energy within you or around you that you need to be aware of, that you need to be focused. There may be somebody, maybe that's what it is. There may be somebody that may be trying to manipulate you in some way, and that may be where the confusion is. You may already know who this person is, so you need to be aware of this person. This person may be Capricorn or Gemini. This could be somebody that you may work with, that you've invested some time and energy towards, maybe even given money to. So you need to be aware of that. Another thing I want to say is check your accounts. Check your accounts. Make sure that because sometimes we have these people and they have access to certain information. Especially when it comes to money. So if somebody has access to your financial information, like your personal information, like maybe do like a credit report, check your accounts, make sure everything is copacetic, like everything is in order, that you don't see any unfamiliar charges or withdrawals from your accounts. This could be the person that may have done this in the past, trying to come back around. Hi, Pearl, how are you? So that's something you need to look out for. But also, like I mentioned earlier, there may be something coming back around. Because remember, that was one of the things that came out in the cards. And it says, this thing may be coming back around because you were distracted, right? There's something may be coming back around, but it's because you need to reevaluate it. You have to reflect on what you've done in the past and what changes you need to make this time around. How can you do things better? How can you change things around? Where was your mindset? Where were you focusing? Were you focusing more so on the negative back then? Then how can you transform the situation? How can you make the situation different than how you've experienced it in the past? Because that's how life happens. We go through cycles, and then sometimes certain things we revisit, either with the same people or different people. But that is a matter of us reflecting on how we've done things in the past and how can we change the outcome in the future. But it's a matter of reflection. It's a matter of evaluation or reevaluating something, And it could work out in your favor too. But it's a matter of you employing some strategy, no longer allowing yourself to be confused by whatever thoughts or ideas you have or people who may be confusing you, Make sure you're taking the necessary steps to get the information you need. And also making sure that you're staying balanced, that you're connected to your intuition, you're connected to yourself, but also you're remaining grounded. It's reminding me of the balance, practicality, spirituality with practicality. So you have to be practical, but then you also have to have faith. You have to also have trust in yourself, So I feel like I really don't need to clarify this then. I think that just the cards as they are and the shadow energy is clarification enough. Again, I saw the Ace of Cups. Yeah. There may be certain things that you need to show more compassion, especially if something's coming back around and maybe you did something that you weren't proud of with the devil energy and you're getting a second chance. So if that's the case, if that resonates with you, there may be an opportunity to make a situation right by changing your approach, possibly bringing more love into a situation, more compassion, empathy, even to yourself too, because there may be something mentally from your past that may be coming up mentally, like you're thinking about it, you're reminiscing, you're being nostalgic, and that you may have to give that compassion to yourself, however that may resonate with you. Okay, so I've been off for 49 minutes. Okay, since I have people here, and I think I left the chat open for anybody. I want to ask a question about super chats. As viewers, I need your opinion about something. Because I would like to do paid readings, but I want to know, like, because I'm like, not everybody's going to be able to afford that. So I could do like little mini readings, but like, what's the minimum would you pay for a mini reading? Like, say, like I did a focus reading, focus block advice. And you can be honest, there's no judgment, you know, because I just need to get an idea of what someone is willing to pay. If you've ever done a super chat in the past, you know, because on Friday I had somebody come on and they were like, oh, you know, I want to give you, they wanted a reading. I did it for them, but they gave me $5 and I did like a simple 3-card spread, and they were content with their reading, you know. So I want your opinion. You could be honest, you know. You could put in the chat. There's a way for me to turn the chat off so that if when the live replay goes on, nobody sees your messages. If you're feeling shy about answering that for me, but I'm just like curious about that. Okay. Ooh, it's getting chilly. Say something. So, no, there's nothing. Okay, so I'm going to be on my own with it and figuring that out. So I'm going to end the reading here. I thank you all so much for joining today. If you subscribe, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, the wonderful rest of your day. It's still very early here in New York. It's 10:46 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope everyone stays safe. And I hope to see you tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern time in the conference room. All right, so take care, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.